Alrighty, just a little quick tutorial on how to use the Switch Up for the Pokemon ZA. Um, I believe this comes with like a little black wireless USB. Don't know, don't have it anymore, but I prefer using my wired controllers. But so to get to the mode to do the auto macros for it is going to be where you see these other invisible dots that are not light up. So you want to hit the second button right here, right? Closest to the USB port. We're going to hit it a total of 3 times, so that see how that light up to 2. Hit it again, and then goes, and then the first one disappears, and then this one shows up. This one is in the middle of the 4 dots. So I don't know if it's auto. Oh no, it is okay. But once you see that purple and orange, you're in macro mode. All right. So the next step, right, is use your controller. I have an Xbox One. All right. So what you want to do to start your macros is hit the select button. Then all 4 should light up, and then the color will change on the right to a kind of like a white yellow. Mine will show all 4. But if you hold down your select button or whatever you have for whatever controller it is, you'll feel one vibration, and then it most likely the first dot will glow up, right? So since I'm in selection mode for macros, right? We're gonna start off at 1. So I'm gonna hit left bumper, and it'll take you to the first one. There's like 4 different stages to macros on this device. I personally don't use the first 3. We only want to use the 4th one. So I'm going to do that, right? Then click the left bumper again. Then you feel 2 vibrations when you're on stage 2. Stage 3, you should feel 3 vibrations. Then when you go to stage 4, you'll feel 4 vibrations off your controller. Then once you're done, oh shit, I accidentally hit it again. You hit your select button, and then it'll take you back into the macro mode, right? Now, people don't know this because they aren't really shown, but to restart the macros, because most of the time this thing will most likely have it if you've already used it before, or you opened it up, you most likely have one. So what you do is you want to hit your home button, which for Xbox it's this. I think PlayStation. Oh yeah, I have PlayStation right here. The PlayStation controller will be right here. I don't have any of the Switch Pro controllers, so I can't show that. But it's whatever the equivalent of the home button for the console is. So what you do is you want to hold the home button down and the left bumper at the same time to restart your macros. And then you will get the screen where you go to your Switch Home, and you will see your games and all that extra stuff. So now we're going to go into the game, and I'm going to show you how to set up the macros. So we just restarted it. There shouldn't be any macros available, but I can show you how to set one up. Alrighty, and we're back, right? After a little bit of testing as well, because I did goof up a little bit, but yeah. We're gonna hit go back into the game as we left off on the dongle where we were doing the reset. We do have to do another reset I'm just gonna confirm, right? Remember, guys, to reset the macros on this thing, you want to hold down your home button, whether it's Xbox home or the PlayStation symbol. Not sure about the pros. And then you hit the left bumper, right? And then you'll feel a vibration. 2 vibrations. Let me rephrase that. You'll feel 2 vibrations, confirming that you are on a fresh macro. So if you wanted to, would say, for instance, every time you do the bench trick where you're in the bench, you're trying to skip the day or whatever the case may be, you're always facing away from it. So when you do that, note that you only allowed to hit so many buttons until you feel a vibration on the controller, confirming that is what you have maxed out for whatever movements, right? Or button combinations you can use. I tested it a couple of times. I'm not exactly sure of the number of buttons you can use for this thing, but I've tested it where it can we can make it longer to wait. So for instance, right, we want to minimize the movement. Oh, it's foggy. We want to minimize the movement for button mashment. You know, going instead of like, so I was testing it, right? I was doing counterclockwise when I was turning, but instead I'm just going to use my analog stick going down. So for instance, to start the macro, you want to hit the left bumper, down, A, 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 how I say A, A. So we're gonna see how this plays out. All right. Okay, just press the button. Press the button, right? We're gonna see how it plays out because you gotta put this in effect too. This screen right here is what's gonna get you. So you might have to time that A a little bit longer than what I did, but we'll see. Because my character, I knew for sure I didn't hit it and wait long enough to hit the button, but in a second he should turn towards the bench and then switch the days again. Yep. See? Then he'll switch the day to the new day. So, like for instance, you could do this in zones. Obviously, you might want to try to time it a little bit more perfect than how I did with this. But that's pretty much the gist of it, right? You want to use analog down because you're always face the bench away. Obviously, like see how I'm facing the bench right now? That's how you start every time when you go off of the bench. So you always want to do analog down once, right? And try to make it as perfectly down as possible. Then you want to hit your A button, but for Xbox it's B. And then you don't want to spam click it, right? Because then your macro limit goes down and down for timing. And I've tested this a couple of times. It does kind of, like it starts making you spin a little bit and out of control. So yeah, that's how you do the bench trick. The cafe fight one's a little easier. So here, we're going to the cafe. So just so you guys get your 1,000 battles in, you want to come down to the restaurant Lana. Teleport there. This one's a lot easier. For instance, we'll begin inside. You want to have it an extreme speed, honestly, anything. Just make sure it's strong enough to one-shot. So, we have our boy here. I want to make sure that I'm selecting our guy, Lucario. Perfect. Another thing you want to have on top of that for your Lucario, or Dratini, I did max out its EVs and IVs, so I can confirm I'm getting kills for this. You want to change your held item, swap held item. You want to go change item, open satchel. Let me disable my camera for a moment. You want to go to your other. Oh, I forgot when you have the dongle on, you cannot use left bumper. So if you go too fast, you just gotta have to use the bumper over again. But you want to use your shell bell for this for sure, right? So, I must have passed it. I definitely passed it. Where are you, shell bell? There you are. So we're gonna give it to Lucario. Yep, we're gonna swap with the Lucario Knight. That helps for every kill he gets. He revives or his HP a little bit more. So what we do here, obviously, guys, so when we do a new macro, you want to hold down that home button and the left bumper. Boom, you feel 2 vibrations. That means you're clear. So now what I do is, since this one's a little weirder, right? I want to hold down, press the left bumper to start the macro, right? A, right? Please follow me this way. Okay. Actually, we could have done this a different way. So I'm going to quickly restart the macro right here. 2 vibrations, right? So once we're in here, I hold down left trigger, A. I don't think I didn't hit it. So we started the macro now. Hit left bumper, right? You want to at least have that hold down the left trigger long enough. Hit A, and then just spam A, and then macro is finished. So technically, when you're at the counter, right? So instant, I'm just gonna do this. My hand will be up during the rest of the fights. So if you're trying to get done with your 1,000 battles, you want to do it this way. It is easier, more efficient. So when you start the macro, you hit the left bumper, and then hold down the left trigger to target obviously your Pokemon. You'll see in a moment. Right, as you guys can clearly see that Lucario's HP was at 75%, now it's at 100 because of the amount of kills he's getting. So you hold down left trigger for about, give or take, 2 to 3 seconds, really, right? If you want to hit the A button, or B, if you're using Xbox like I am, or if you're using PlayStation and Circle, you just spam click it until you feel that very faint vibration, and then you know you hit the cap for the macros. So essentially, that's how easy this thing is, but I'll let it keep doing its thing. I'll leave my hands up just to show you that it is AFK. But I mean, yeah, sure, you will take a couple of hits, but when you kill them on, like, I should take a hit here. Well, yeah, see, I definitely took a hit. Didn't do much, but by the time this Leo comes out, I should hit faster. Yeah. So then I get my health back. That's how easy the 1,000 battles is. So now we're gonna do the teleporting method. So I'm gonna hit the left bumper to cancel it, because that's how you cancel it as well. You want to hit the left bumper to cancel your macro, so it doesn't keep going. It's also a really good thing for this because you spend 3,000, and I think every trainer you beat in here you get about 2,000, so the total of 6,000. So you're earning 3,000 every time you do one of these, plus the tiny mushrooms, and I think candy too. Yeah, you get candy as well. It's a pretty good farm, but yeah. Now we're gonna do the teleport one. The restart one is also a little interesting, but probably restart as I think that he meant by going back home. So these are just things that I'm doing for a friend. So if you guys, I just decided to make a quick little video on it. I know it's a little 10 minutes, but it should be very easy to understand. So I'm sure he was talking about a wild area. One of my first hunts I want to do is going to be my Vanillite. So we're going to go over here. Right? As soon as we get in, we remembered one thing, right? Since we just teleported here, that's where we're always going to end up. So we're going to restart the macros again, which is hold down the home button and left bumper. Like I said, sometimes it'll take you here. That just confirms you've gotten it. Plus, you can feel the 2 vibrations in your controller. So that's confirmed. We reset our macros. And we started off where we wanted to teleport from. So we're here. So to start the macro and to go into said area like this, you want to hold down your left bumper, run up, hit A, go in there, hit your start button, hit A, A. And it should be as simple as that. Then you hit the left bumper, so it should be fine, right? So now we're gonna hit left bumper again. Let's see if it'll go through the macros as it says. Okay. Okay, yep, so it's just as simple as that. As soon as you teleport, you want to start the macro. You don't want to move, right? Because it can completely throw off the macro. As soon as you teleport there naturally, you hold whatever direction that you're going, but you do not want to move the the camera angle, right? To do this. So you just hold up the up button just enough where you get into that front door so you're not aggroing anything. And then as you see, as soon as you get up to that gate, I press A once, right? Then I go into the menu, which is my start menu to get to the map. Then hit A because you're already in there. You can just quickly hit A and it'll teleport you back. So it's going to keep past resigning this until your desired thing, right? So, I think I might have already saw it shiny, but I don't really care about it right now. But, yeah, that's how simple the macro is for that. So that pretty much sums up the teleport method with the macro. Now, we'll wait till one last teleport. All right, and I think that'll be the end of the tutorial. I might have mentioned restart, but you guys get the gist. Those were the big three: the bench, the cafe, and the teleport. If you were in, like, we say, some areas like the underground where, I don't want to spoil nothing, where you meet Beldum, there's a certain area where you can get far enough, you can just keep teleporting through a different pad. You can essentially just do the same method as we were talking about. Just try to time it perfectly. You want to, hone the craft. Whatever you spawn at for an angle, try to minimize the movement you have. If you already know the angle, say, like, you aim this way, right? But the teleport's towards me, right? So you want to go down. You just want to minimize 100% of your movement. And of course, if you do this, move around, that counts as a macro movement. That also, don't do that, because we say if you did this and hold an angle, you could be running around in circles. Don't want to do that. But yeah, if you guys have any other questions, just comment in the comment section below. Peace out. I'll probably make a YouTube Shorts on it, but yeah, peace out, guys.